Hey, friends and lovers. This is Rita with Sir Michael. Right now, I'm going to take a pause from this great Patriots 49ers game right here, which is, to be honest, just making me a little seasick at this point. It's going so back and forth. And I'm going to go ahead and review Mandela, the authorized portrait uh, by. Actually, I don't know who this book is written by, but definitely doesn't say it in the cover. But it's not written by Mandela. It's not an actual autobiography. It is a biography, and it's written. The foreword is written by Bill Clinton, and the introduction is written by Archbishop Desmond Tutu. This is very likely written by a few authors, for which reason they're not actually mentioned on the cover. I've seen that a few times before. But okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this book. Great, great biography. Um, Filled with pictures. As you can see, it's not very long. It's probably about, let's see, it's actually 354 pages, but I just want to actually open a few of the pages so I can kind of demonstrate to you a lot of the pictures and a lot of text in this book. As you can see, there's a lot of floor panel photographs in this tome. And I say it's a tome because even though it's not long in pages, it is a big book. It's pretty heavy too. But look at all the images of it. Look at this man right here. His face is clearly burned. Um, and it just gets into the heart of who Nelson Mandela is and what led him into the apartheid movement. A lot of people often forget that Nelson Mandela, during his very early days, was a violent revolutionary who used guns, you know, and who was definitely a man that later in life, after prison, definitely changed. And I guess you can say he became softer, even though I don't think that's the right word. I would just say that he became more humane. A few things of note in this book. He had a very complex, for the most part, not good relationship with his family. And I think that a lot of people forget about this. Even with his wife, he had a very difficult relationship with his wife. She herself was in and out of jail. She had mental problems later on. I mean, she was pretty effed up. And some of his kids died. He was never really there for his kids oftentimes because he kind of gave himself to the movement more to his family. And I think that you find this with a lot of historical figures, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, and others, is that oftentimes they're considered some of the most humane people in history, some of the greatest giants in history, but when it came to their own families, they just did not manage their families very well. I think that Madiba, as we like to call Nelson Mandela, is a perfect example of this. I think that right now is a good time to read any type of Nelson Mandela biography because let's face it, he's not going to be around for very long. I think he's already about 94, 95. He just had gallbladder surgery, which he recovered from yesterday. So this is a guy that's not going to be around for long. So I think that now more than ever, people are trying to rediscover who Nelson Mandela is and what he was all about. And I think the other really significant part, not just about this book, but about Nelson Mandela, is that he was able to go to jail. He was incarcerated for, I believe, 27 years, and yet he came out and held no grudge against the people who incarcerated him. He was willing to forgive. And when you ask me what does that mean, I can only say that it's beyond human. To be incarcerated in dire conditions as he was for 27 years wrongly, and then be freed and be able to essentially forgive the people who incarcerated you. I mean, this is the type of guy that there's just not many people like him around. He's gold, and that's why with somebody like Nelson Mandela, you really have to treasure him. He is a global treasure. Um, I think the book also finished very beautifully with a long interview with Nelson, and you really get to hear it from his point of view, from his perspective, and in his voice, which I thought was awesome. Now, I do admit there were some parts in this book which were a little tedious, a little, like, here we go, come on. But I think that all in all, this book passed the test of a great authoritative biography. I think the foreword by Bill Clinton and the introduction by Desmond Tutu were great, and I think that not only that, but this book makes a great read for the novice and the expert Nelson Mandela reader. Definitely a very good read. Keep staying tuned to Read On with Sir Michael Rivera, and now I need to get back to my game.